Hi everyone. For my visual literacy project, I chose to create a Google presentation. In this Google presentation, what I've done is I'm going to be teaching my kids about the concepts of quick breads. There's three different types of quick breads and then two different types of mixing methods. And often my students get confused and struggle with the idea of just words on a slide and how are they supposed to comprehend that. So I feel like what I tried to focus on through this was using pictures to emphasize the concept rather than using words. So you'll notice through my presentation, I focused a lot on different elements of design. The first element that I focused on was the use of color. So you'll see that all of my background slides are all the same color there. My title slides are either green or yellow, depending on what the subject is that they're focusing on. I also used cool colors throughout the entire presentation, so greens and blues, yellows. The red is used to kind of emphasize a point. So whether it's a plus sign, an equals, you'll see as you scroll farther through the PowerPoint that I've used a red kind of a cross out sign to indicate that that's not a good choice to use something. I've also used different size throughout my presentation here. Back in the beginning of the presentation here, you'll see that all the pictures are all the same size. They're all relatively in proportion to each other. They are all sized perfectly centered in the slide there. I have also made sure that the font is a readable size there and making the font bigger if I needed to emphasize something there. The other thing that I focused on was organization in this PowerPoint. So you'll see if you look at the pictures, not only are they organized by shape, but I've also organized the slide by what they're trying to teach. So for example, my first 6 through 10 slides are about the biscuit method. So you can tell that those are organized by this little title that I've put up at the top that says biscuit method. I've also been able to use different shapes in here. You'll see that I've used the plus sign, the equal sign. I was able to add some green check marks to indicate that this is a good choice here. The red circle with the line through it to indicate that that's not what you're looking for in there. I've also been able to use emphasizing the font in there by underlining. I've bolded some things in there. I've added some font on top of pictures so that it can give a little bit more description of what the picture is there. I've also been able to use space well in this PowerPoint. Nothing's overcrowding anything there. It's easy to look at a slide and understand what's trying to be explained there because there's not too much on there, but it's big enough to be able to know what the concept is. I think that this visual literacy presentation that I've created here will really help my students because it doesn't have a lot of words to it. So they have to be able to look at, for example, the different steps of the muffin method and determine what are they supposed to be doing. So for example, in step 1 here, there's 3 pictures, but there's really no directions. So they need to be able to know that, oh, I have to measure some type of a dry ingredient, then some type of my leveling agents, and sift them, and that's the first step in the muffin method. So I feel like being able to take this PowerPoint and remove the words from it will give my students an opportunity for them to create the story of how to do these different steps and how to learn this different concept rather than sitting and copying down words from a PowerPoint and not knowing how to perform the tasks of the different methods there. I thought that this project was a fun one. I enjoyed looking up different pictures and different colors and really learning how to add a little bit more emphasis into Google presentations, which I will be using in future classes.